The title of this video could have been posed as a question, but you know, I sat and thought about that a while and I really think it should be a statement. 2024 was indeed the best year for Elite Dangerous. And there's a lot of reasons for that, and not just because Frontier shook things up for the game, but also because they improved their overall stance on many things besides, the communications being ranked amongst those. So what really did change? Well, this year I really do feel that Frontier finally started treating Elite Dangerous as a fully online live service game. Some people may argue that Frontier have always done that, but I feel they tend to do the fire and forget, release patches and then move on. But now it very much does have a different feel about it, and this in many ways has been centered around the Frontier Unlocked, the new live stream that updates and gives out new information on the game that's coming down the line, and of course letting us know about some of the content that's coming in 2025. Before we dive into all of those details though, let me take a moment to tell you about something that's just as sleek and well designed as the Elite Dangerous ships. Here's a word from today's sponsor then, Extra Wallet. When I'm always on the move, keeping track of essentials is crucial. That's why I use Extra's Finder Card and Parliament Wallet. Extra's Finder Card is a game changer. This ultra-slim, rechargeable tracker card integrates seamlessly with Apple's Find My network. No extra apps needed. With the size of a credit card, it fits anywhere, and if I misplace my wallet, I can see its exact location on a map anywhere in the world. The left behind alerts notify me if I leave my wallet behind, and with the rechargeable battery lasting up to 6 months and water-resistant design rated at IPX5, it's built for any active lifestyle. You can even share the tracking with up to 5 people for added security. Paired with the Parliament wallet, my daily carry is enhanced. The quick access trigger lets me reach my cards instantly, holding up to 12 cards and cash with RFID protection. Extra's currently having a Christmas sale. Get up to 55% off with my code, upgrade your essentials or find the ideal gift. Check below for more details. It's not just about what's coming next year though. Of course, 2024 was a huge year, a load of updates, not to mention 4 brand new ships. All of this is pretty much unprecedented for Elite Dangerous ever since its release 10 years now. So I wanted to talk about the year 2024 as it relates to Elite Dangerous and many of the things that we saw. So to start with, as I already touched on, we get Frontier Unlocked. These are the live streams where Frontier talk about the games, and yes, I fully realise these aren't to everyone's taste, but the good thing is they do provide insights and information on what we can expect to see for the games, both in terms of releases that are happening right at that specific moment, as well as releases that are further down the line. And then we have the updates. These were numbered initially at the start of the year and then changed from numbers to be named. I mean, yeah, that's not a big change in and of itself, but it does mark a different approach to the game. We started the year in February with update 18, and this paved the way for the finale of the Thargoid War. So yeah, players got better weapons, much more powerful weapons, and finally gained access to stay inside the Thargoid cloud. Previously, you'd get damaged and destroyed if you stayed in there for too long. This was overcome, and players could finally take on the Thargoid Titans. This eventually led to a rather spectacular event in the game, the full-on destruction of the Titans. You can see the first Titan, Tarranis, being destroyed here. This footage is from YouTuber The Buur Pit, so my thanks to both Buur and Rini for allowing me to use this video. Do check out the links in the video description where you can check out, well, the video for this footage as well as the channel itself. So yeah, both that video as well as the channel itself come highly recommended. Do check it out. So this marked a significant change for direction in the ongoing Thargoid War, because obviously now it was possible for players to take down the large capital Thargoid ships. Now incidentally, things are still unfolding here, as it seems that the Sol system, Earth itself, has now been targeted directly by Thargoid aggression, and we should see this unfold over the coming days and the coming weeks. In other updates this year, we saw update 19, which otherwise known as Power Play 2. Now this released back in the summer and was a significant change to the Power Play system itself, really overhauling how this worked. It made things far more visual in terms of how players can see what's going on with Power Play 2 and the various different powers within the game and how they spread their influence around the galaxy, as well as allowing players much better insight as to how they can directly interact with Power Play 2 as well as its outcome. Now, not everything was great here, of course, because if nothing else, Elite Dangerous is very much known for its grind. This can be excessive and, well, in my opinion, is far too excessive over the years, and unfortunately Power Play 2 brought a huge amount of grind along with it. So Power Play 2 was a very nice update, but somewhat overshadowed and marred by what I feel, and I guess other people out there too feel, is excessive grind. Maybe something that Frontier can improve later. Now, talking of grind, of course, we have engineering. This was always a problem ever since it was introduced in terms of the grinds. Now, engineering released many years back, I think it was around about 2016, and enabled players to upgrade modules of their ship through gameplay. Unfortunately, the amount of work that had to go into this, the amount of time investment, again, much like the grind for Power Play 2, was excessive. Over the years, Frontier did make some adjustments to this, but unfortunately nowhere near enough. This all changed in August of 2024 with an engineering overhaul. Now, this overhaul addressed the problems with engineering in a number of ways. Firstly, by increasing the availability of material, so adjustments here were made to the material rewards for various ship-based and on-foot missions. Also, they went with more predictable upgrades, so the system here was changed to operate on a more predictable path instead of being wholly based on RNG, which is, well, being random, which is how it was before. In addition to increasing the available material, the cost for upgrades was also reduced. So, yeah, that meant the recipe cost for on-foot weapons and suit upgrades, as well as ship module upgrades, was taken all the way down. And further, the capacity for storage for materials was also increased. So, pretty good changes here all round and long overdue. Now, perhaps arguably one of the best changes made to Elite Dangerous, well, more or less ever, is Super Cruise Overcharge. Now, this is available in all ships, but it's very inefficient, but is highly efficient when it comes to the new ships. What is it? Well, it's a boost function in Super Cruise. Remember how when you're travelling away from planets you can get caught in the gravity well and it takes an absolute age to accelerate up? Well, enable the Super Cruise Overcharge and you will accelerate very, very quickly and travel at extremely high speeds. This slow travel is an issue I've had with Elite Dangerous pretty much from day one. In fact, I made a number of videos on it over the years. I certainly wasn't alone with my concerns on this. Many people also had the same issue, but of course there are also a number of people out there who felt that sitting slow in space is how things should be and that we were needlessly complaining. At any rate, at the end of the day, it seems that Frontier did agree with the people who were pointing out that space travel is far too slow, and they sped it up significantly and adding an element of gameplay to this as well. Very, very enjoyable change. Now, of course, not everything was absolutely perfect throughout the year. Whilst there were a lot of different changes, not all of them were positively received. And of course, the other elephant in the room here is that, unfortunately, none of this come to console owners. So I know you only have to check the comments in my videos to see a few people pointing that out. A lot of people still very unhappy that consoles were dropped, and, well, unfortunately, nothing about that has yet changed. The other big change here was, of course, monetization changes. Now, Frontier have obviously had issues with monetizing Elite Dangerous over the years, selling cosmetics, but perhaps not making as much money as they felt they wanted to or that they needed to. And I think this was a large reason, personal speculation here, that Elite Dangerous didn't get as many updates as it perhaps could. They've now changed the monetization system, offering pre-built ship packages, as well as offering early access to brand new ships, and these you can get access to for a few months early by buying them with ARX currency, otherwise known as real-world money. They'll then be available at a later date for in-game credits. Like it or hate it, some people feel that this was a pay-to-win, and rightly so. Other people felt that it was entirely necessary. Personally, I think it's a case of both, that both are true at once. It is an element of pay-to-win here, depending on how you phrase that, how you describe that yourself. But of course, it was also very much needed. The proof here is in the fact that Elite Dangerous has received huge amounts of updates ever since these monetization changes were made. Not only that, further changes are coming later down the line in 2025. A massive update for colonization. The colonization update, in my opinion at least, is arguably on par with the release of Odyssey. It will fundamentally change how Elite Dangerous works. It's going to allow players to lay claim to entire star systems under their own name and then direct how things are built here, from space stations to planetary outposts up to the nature of economy that is used within that star system, and also having some influence as well over the security levels within. In short, the inhabited systems within Elite Dangerous, the so-called bubble, will soon expand, and it will expand at player control and player direction. No release date on this one just yet, but it's entirely expected to see a beta for this in early 2025. And finally, we come to the brand new ships. The first of these was the Python Mark II. This was a redesigned version of the popular multi-purpose ship, the original Python. Later came a Type 8, or the Type 8. This was a Lakon ship and very utilitarian in design, but it was perhaps the first ship that really stepped away from the familiar design we've seen over the years with Elite Dangerous ships and took on an entirely new aesthetic. Very nice ship. Pushing things even further in terms of a different aesthetic, we had the Mandalay. This was the third ship and an exploration ship, easily having the largest jump range out of all the ships, and well, this one I think is absolutely gorgeous. The fourth ship is due to be released very soon, in fact on the 16th of December I do believe, and this is the Cobra Mark V. So there we have it, a bit of an overview of 2024 on Elite Dangerous, in case you've been away like many people have and entirely missed it. If you have, here's your chance to catch up and jump back in. And talking of people jumping back in, here's a quick look at player numbers. We can see that over the course of the year, especially towards the end of the year, the player numbers have jumped dramatically. It took long enough, didn't it? Frontier finally got on the right path with Elite Dangerous and understood to give players what they wanted. And yeah, in case you're thinking I'm fanboying here or white knighting, well, maybe, but ultimately, no, just giving credit where credit's due. But I'm sure people will still call me a hater and a shill all at once. At any rate, thanks for watching this video all the way through, and my thanks again to Extra for sponsoring this video. Do check out those links in the video description. Take care, and I'll catch you next time.